Hi. Good evening, Bhante and all Kayana Mita, Hotu. And welcome to Sutta Discussion Day 34 by Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima. Tonight, we are going to discuss the ninth class of the Sigalovada Sutta. I am Brother Lim on behalf of Ti-Ratana Amambadana Vihara Clan, will be your moderator. With the blessing from the Chief Reverend Dato K. Siri Taman-Ratana, this class will be broadcast by Zoom as well as on Ti-Ratana Amambadana Vihara Clan Facebook page and YouTube channel. Our speaker, Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima, is the Senior Advisor to Ti-Sutta. Ti-Sutta is a virtual Dharma organization that helps beginners as well as expert students in learning the Dharma in variety ways. You can check on Ti-Sutta with the link www.ti-sutta.blogspot.com. Many people are interested in Dhamma Pariyesana, Ti-Sutta's most acclaimed interview series, which Bhante conducts on a regular basis. In 2015, Bhante Dr. Chandima earned a PhD in Buddhist study from a university in Jayawardenepura in Sri Lanka. From 2012 to 2016, Bhante served as a Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada. And in 2016, was a research fellow at the Center of Religion and Society of University of Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Without further ado, we welcome Bhante Dr. Chandima. Welcome, Bhante, and thank you very much for tonight's talk. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Lim. We have Lim, Bella, Hazel, and a few more might be joining as the time passes by. I think Aliana is not well today, so we're going to wish her speedy recovery. And yeah, so that's how it goes. So we'll come back to 34th. Is it correct, Brother Lee? 34th Dhamma Sutta discussion, which we've been conducting since March. It's pretty long time now. I guess almost 8 months. And we've been covering up a couple suttas. We started off with Mahamangala Sutta, and then we moved on to Ratana Sutta, and then Metta Sutta, and then we started off, continued the discussion with another sutta, which we've been doing now, Sigalovada Sutta. So we actually covered almost all bad friends as of last Friday. So today we will be continuing to study about friends, but good friends. So there are 4 good friends. So before we start off, let's pay homage to Buddha. Say, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. So we have Sadhris and him also. Okay, so let's take a look at Pali text, and let's see. So today, the good friends start from the number 12. Okay. Suhada Mitta. Okay, so it's going to be I guess number 21 in your English document if you want to see the translation. But in the Pali document, it's going to be Number 12. So who would like to read in Pali? Sadhris, would you like to read?
I'm still, I never put the
Okay.
practice yet. Get somebody else.
Okay, takes time to, yeah. Anybody else who wants to read? It's a precious chance, huh? Can I hear you? Use read Pali. Number 12. Suhada Mitta.
Pada Mitta.
Mhm.
Mitta. Suhada. We did.
Are you reading, Sadhris?
No.
Okay. So who would like to read?
Bhante, I want
Okay,
to do.
sure.
I
Go ahead.
Suhada Mita. Chatta Rome Kaha Pati Puta Mita Suhada Veditapa Upakaro Mito Suhato Veditapo Samana Sukatuko Mito Suhato Veditabo Atakaye Mito Suhado Veditabo Anu Kambako Mito Suhado Veditabo.
Okay, great. So I can ask somebody else to read the next paragraph once I explain. Read the Pali and then this one. Suhada Mitta. Suhada means, I would say, those who have a good heart. Right? Hada in Pali means good heart. Let me write that for you. Type in here. Hada. Hada means. Is it an important word to you, Dhamma folks? In terms of the meaning, yeah, you like to know how the heart, the meaning of the heart. Suhada means someone who has a good heart, right? Can you call your bad friends, if you have bad friends, they may have a good heart too? They might not. They may have a good mind, the way how they talk, but they might not have a good heart, right? So Suhada means, Hada means heart. Suhada, that means those who have a good heart, that means good friends. Chattaro me Gahapati Putta Mitta Suhada Veditabba Upakaru Mitto Suhadu Veditabbu Samana Sukha Dukho Mitto Suhadu Veditabbu Attakai Mitto Suhadu Veditabbu Anukampaku Mitto Suhadu Veditabbu. Okay. Yeah. Hello, Kim. How are you? I can't hear you though. So we just started off. You doing well? Okay, so we just started off the Suhada Mitta. Okay, so Suhada means someone who has a good heart. Hada means heart. Su means good heart. So you can say heart. So, so the good friends are taken in a way, those who have a good heart. So there are 4 good heart friends. Huh? Number 1 is what do you call? Upakaro. That's the first kind of good friend, someone who has a good heart. Upakaro. Second one, Samana Sukha Dukho. That's the second good-hearted friend. Third good-hearted friend is Attakai. Okay, I will explain to you these different meanings, so don't worry, but just to know the names, Pali names. Anukampako Mitto Suhadu. Anukampako is the fourth good-hearted friend. Now I think you should be very excited to know who they are, right? Because you might check in with your friends behind and ahead of you. What's the sides? These are, do I have this kind of a friend? Huh? We are all excited to know. Okay, let's see. Hopefully you will be not frustrated thinking that my friends are not a part of one of these. I mean, to have that statement, to have that perception. Okay, let me tell you the rough meaning of these 4 friends in English. Maybe I can ask somebody to read the English translation of this. This is going to be in English document, number 21. Kim, would you like to read? I think there's a problem with your mic. We don't hear you though. Kim? We can't hear you.
Is it number 21?
Oh, yes. Now we can hear you. Number 21. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Young men, be aware of these 4 good-hearted friends: the helper, the friend who endures in good times and bad, the mentor, and the compassionate friend.
Ah, great. Now we will find out how the Pali words are going to be understood. Huh? The first one is called helper. So helper means upakaru is the helper. Upakaru. Upakaru. I think this is the friend today we will be studying on. Okay, upakaru, helper. So there are 4 good-hearted friends. The first one is upakaru. Upakaru means someone who is always helpful. Second one, samana sukha dukkho. English meaning is going to be the friend who endures in good times and bad. What's an easy translation for this? Endures, tolerates. So the friend who probably endures or probably with you in good times and bad, right? That person is going to be with you in good times and bad times. Then attakai, third good-hearted friend. Attakai, the meaning is going to be mentor. Mentor means there is a friend who can really guide you. I think it's really difficult to find that kind of a friend. Someone who can give us a good advice, proper advice. There are people who give us a lot of advices. Sometimes they are very trash. They are not proper advices. They like to give you advice that you can do like this, do like this, do like this. But you think about it, in isolation, this is not going to work. Huh? Right? I know there are people when you ask them, do you know about this? They want to tell something. They don't know about it, but they want to tell something about it. They don't want to feel that they don't know about it. So in that sense, attakai means, I think one of the very important friends among the good-hearted friends is attakai, someone who can guide us in the proper path. Or I would say someone who can be a mentor. Mentor is a word that is coming out of the educational sciences, but guide us, a good guide. The fourth good-hearted friend is called anukampako. Anukampako means, it's pretty clear, compassionate friend. I think what we call the literal translation is not compassion. Anukampa means empathy, empathetic friend. Okay. Anukampa means empathy. Karuna means compassion. So karuna and anukampa have 2 different meanings. We will talk about it after. Probably before I get into the specific first friend, good-hearted friend, I would like to say something, kind of background stuff about these 4 people. Okay. What if someone is to think that, may I have all these good-hearted friends? Like I have one friend who is a helper, the second friend who is somebody who is able to endure my good and bad times, and my third friend is somebody who is a good mentor, I would say, a good guide, And the last one is a very empathetic one, because sometimes we have done something wrong, but we need empathy from other folks, right? That's a good idea. You know, people can think differently. I'm going to ask you at the end. Huh? So the first kind, what do you call, good-hearted friend, going to be the helper. So who is going to read in Pali? Chatuhiko Gahapati Putta. Who would like to read this paragraph? Because I'm giving you some opportunity to, you know, to recite, and then, you know, right? Oh, Kim, yeah, go ahead.
Mute first. Okay, Chatuhiko Gahapati Putta, Tanahi Upakaro, Mito
Tanehi.
Atane Upakaro, Tuhado Viti Tabo, Pamantam Rakati, Pamatasa Sapateya, Rakati, Bitasa Saranam Hoti, Upanesu Kechakarani Yesu, Hadi Gunam, Bogam Anupadati, Imahiko Gahapati Puta, Chatohi Tanehi, Upakaro Mito Suhado Viti Tabo.
Great. So let me read too. Chatuhi ko Gahapati Putta. Here, Tane, yeah? Tane, husband. Tanehi Upakaro. Upakaro, not Upakaro. Upakaro. Because Upakaro, see, there's long A here. There's a, you see the mark above A. Upakaro. Mitto Suhadu Veditapu. Pamatang Rakhati. Kurt. It's kind of aspirate, not Rakhati. Rakhati. Pamattas Sapate Yang Rakhati. Bhitas, not Bitas. Bhitas Saranang Hoti. Uppannesu Kicha Karaniyesu. Taddigunang Bhogang Anupadeti. Imehi ko Gahapati Putta. The same thing. It's repeated. Chatuhi Tanehi Upakaru Mitto Suhadu Veditapu. Okay, great. Okay, now we want someone to read the English translation. Who would like to read? It's going to be 22. Bella, would you like to read the English translation? It's going to be number 22.
Okay, number 22. The helper can be identified by 4 things: by protecting you when you are vulnerable, and light with your wealth, being a refuge when you are afraid, and in various tasks, providing double what is requested.
Interesting, huh? Pretty interesting, the role of this Upakaraka friend. Okay. The helper can be identified by 4 things: by protecting you when you are vulnerable. That's something to be discussed, the English translation, vulnerable, because the literal translation is going to be pamada, delayed, when you are delayed, which means you may be vulnerable, you may have been vulnerable, that's why you are delayed. And likewise, your wealth, being a refuge when you are afraid. And in various tasks, providing double what is requested. So like when you help, When you help once, she's gonna help double or twice. Now there are people like that. You're gonna give one meal, but he's gonna give you couple meals. Interesting, right? Not like the normal way that we know. Okay, let's see these things in little details. Chatuhi. What's the meaning of chatuhi? Four. Now, what is going to be seen here is that four things. Four. Okay. Chatu. Gahapati Putta. I can hear kind of a echo here, probably. Yeah, Gahapati Putta. Who is Gahapati? Someone who owns a house. What is his name? Householder. Householder, Gahapati Putta. In Pali, we call Putta is son. Then what is the Pali term for daughter? Interesting, huh? What's the Pali term for daughter? Now we call Putta. Putta is son. Huh? And Pali word for daughter? Putti. Putta, Putti. Putti. Interesting, huh? That's how it is going to work. Don't call your daughter, hey, Putti, come here. Putta, Putti. So here, this is a household, a male household, not female household. Not if it was a female household, that means Gahapati Putti. But in Indian society at this time, the women were not given equal chances, right? You know that. The women were not given equal chance. They were sort of, asked to do the house chores. The man works. Man goes to work and then bring money back home. So the woman manages the money. That's the society in India. Do we want the society again here now in 21st century? Of course, right? That's why we have to be very careful in understanding the society, Buddhist society, which we want compared to the Indian society in 6 BCE. Some people don't know. Some people say, yeah, we want the same society back now. It's not going to work because that was a time which people had different societal status. But I think some people are very intellectual. There was a time that a Dhamma speaker was trying to say, you know what? The power of the mind is so quick. It is just as how the electricity works in today's world. And somebody asked him from the audience, was there power at that time, electricity? Oh yeah, that was the wrong way of saying that. There was no power at that time. No electricity. So then how would you explain that? The power of the mind is as quick as the power, electricity. It doesn't work, right? So you can't take that example. But probably you can say power is what you see here. So we had to be very careful if we want to see the society at the time of the Buddha. Okay. So Gahapati Putta. If it was a female who was the owner of the house, we don't find a lot of females who own houses at that time. So if it was a female, how would the Buddha had addressed this person? Gahapati Putti. Gahapati Putta is householder. That means a man. Tanehi means places. Now we have to add four places. Householder, 4 places. Upakaru mittu suhadu. That means the helper. The first good-hearted friend is called helper. Mittu, friend. Suhadu, the one who has a good heart. Veditapu, should be known. So, in short, there are 4 ways that a good-hearted friend who is called helper should be understood or known. right? So I'm not just going through the sutta without telling you the Pali meaning. So because at the same time you learn some Pali, right? Otherwise, some people say, oh, that is the duty of the monks. No, nobody has a duty here, right? Right? We should be all-rounders at all the time. It is our role. It is our, it's going to be an extra added qualification if you know some Pali. So you understand on the spot when some teachings are given. Otherwise, you don't know what they are talking about. No? It's good to have some knowledge of Pali in your own way.
Bhante, can I know what is Veditabu and Veditabu?
Veditabu means should be known, should be understood. Should be understood. Should. Tabba. When you add tabba to any Pali verb, it's going to be should. Now let's say gantabba. Have you heard this term before? Gantabba. Gachati is go or goes. No, not goes. Goes. Gachati. When somebody commands you, let's say you are in a kind of a very bureaucratic environment. Some say you should go. Gantabba. That means you should go, right? That is why in Pali, in Buddhism, it is said when you die, you are dead. The moment you are dead, you die, then you're going to be a Gandhabba. Same idea. You should go to another body unless you attain Nibbana. Should go. You can't stay here. It is true. You can't stay. Once you die, that means your lifespan, your temperature, your consciousness, all gone from your body. But although you left the body, there is a little temperature in your body because body has to decompose, right? Yeah. Body has to decompose itself. So there is a little temperature, but that temperature will go away. Body will be very cold. That's why when you, I don't know whether you notice somebody who you know passed away, you can see if you touch the body, it's very cold and going to be very sturdy. You cannot hold that person. That person was not a heavy person, but you can't now lift because temperature has gone out. The body has become very heavy. This happens to someone who has a heart attack. When somebody has a heart attack, that person's heart doesn't work very much, right? And the body becomes very heavy. Is a very short, small person, but very heavy. You cannot lift that person. That means temperature, and there's something that is happening inside the body, can witness different things when things happen. So Gandhabba means someone who should go. We call everybody who passes away is called as Gandhabba. So as Hema asked, Tabba means should. Okay. So Veditabbo means so Vedeti means no. In Pali we call Vedana means feeling. So Vedeti means to know, to feel or to know. So Veditabba means should be understood, should be known. Okay.
Thank you, Sadhu. Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah. So the first, now I already explained to you about Suhadu. Huh? What's the meaning of Suhadu, Dhamma folks? What's the meaning of Suhadu?
Good heart.
Good heart. Where is good part here?
Su.
How do we? Su is good part. What is Su?
Yeah.
Prefix. It's a prefix in Pali. Hada
Okay.
is the noun. Heart. So when you put Su means, that means good. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Veditabu should be understood. Upakaro. Upakaro. Karo means karoti in Pali. Karoti means does or do. You do something. Do. Karoti. So upakaro means you do something. Upa means also another prefix. Upa means to do something to you near your place or near your presence. Upakara means an action done in the presence of, in the near of you or that particular person. Upakara. Upa means near. Okay, the first way how we understand the upakaraka or the helper is friend. Pamattang rakkati. Pamattang rakkati. That's the first way how we understand the upakaraka helper. All in all, we know a helper is always a good person, right? We need support, we need help, right? Don't get misunderstood this word with the maid concept. Somebody who is going to work for your house or something. This is going to be someone who is going to give support to you, mental support, sometimes other support when things are necessary for you. Pamattang, what is pamattang? Pamattang rakkati means he or she takes care of you when you are delayed or when you are vulnerable in English translation. Well, I would say delayed. Now, what is being delayed? Pamattang. Have you heard this term before? Pamattang. Have you heard a term called pamada, appamada? Are you familiar with these two words? It comes from those words. What is pamada? Pamada means?
Pamata, careless.
Pardon me?
Careless.
Challenge?
Careless. Careless. It's like
Jealous?
Careless.
careless.
Careless. Okay, careless. Okay. Okay, can you elaborate a little bit more? This nature of being careless?
Pamata.
Pamada. It's not a very complicated word, not a hardcore, deep word. But there is a deeper meaning too.
Pamata.
Pamata. Pamata.
Pamada. Now, if I say something to you, you will immediately understand this word. Suramerya majja pamadattana. There is pamada. Remember? The fifth precept. Suramerya majja pamadattana veramani sikha pamada.
Pamata.
That's right. Bhante, yeah. The 5 precepts.
And then
Pamada.
if you go back to, I think, to Mahamangala Sutta, we're going to go back as a revision. What is it? Do we find pamada over there? No, we don't find it over there. So what is pamada? What's the meaning of pamada?
5 precepts.
Negligence. Negligence or diligence. I would say it's not diligence, negligence. What is negligence? You are late. Simply speaking, you are late for something. So it is not about the delay that you have for an event or something else. You are delayed for the doing good things, doing kusala, doing wholesome action, doing wholesome speech, doing wholesome thoughts. So we can be late in two ways: for our secular day-to-day activities and then for our Dhamma practice. What do you think about what affects most of people in society in general? Is it the daily life delay? Because now in every society in today's world, like when you are not punctual, it's going to be a big problem, right? The initial impression about you, right? So it's not nice, like when you are not punctual without a big reason, people initially understand, although you are a very good person, but it's so good, but there's one bad virtue, always late. We don't like to hear that from anybody, right? At workplace or even the temple, anywhere, even on the road. But I think a lot of people are okay. They are trying to be punctual because it's going to be a cosmic virtue now, international virtue, not in one country. It's internationally accepted thing. If somebody is very punctual, people can trust that person, right? But here, delay in the sense of what you call spiritual, aspect, right? That means whether you are lazy, whether you are late for doing kusala actions, I would say, development of your mind. If you are late for that, that means it's going to be a big problem in your own emotional, spiritual life, right? Because some people always say, I have lots of work, I can't do anything, I cannot even learn some Dhamma, I am so busy, I have 2 big dogs in my house. I had to bring them outside, I can't leave them alone, I can't come to the temple. Who's going to take care of them? They are like humans. They are like humans. Finally, they don't find human companionship. And then, a lot of things. People create a lot of excuses. So then what happens? They're not going to be punctual because there's no place for spirituality, right? There's no place for spirituality. Interestingly, I think His Holiness Dalai Lama once said an interesting say about this thing. Your temple is your heart. Interesting, very interesting. You might not be able to go to a temple because you are busy, probably you cannot afford some stuff. Probably you can't. Now, temple has been a little bit secular now in everywhere in the world, so you cannot keep up with the work. Then somebody's asking, so I'm not happy about my going to the temple, like traditional, conventional temple. Don't worry. Your temple is your heart. Take care of you. It is in you, within you, right? So that means our spirituality always, built inside, like the good-hearted friend, right? So the simple meaning here for pamada is negligence. So the opposite of pamada is the most important virtue in Buddhism, which is called as appamada. If someone asks you as a Buddhist, if you call yourself a Buddhist, I don't know, how do you call yourself to somebody? Some people like to say, I'm an atheist. Oh, really? I'm an agnostic. I have no religion. I have no spiritual. I'm spiritual, not religious. Some people might say, like these new folks. But if somebody asks you, you study Buddhism, huh? But what's the most important quality, virtue in Buddhism? Meditation, vipassana, dana, and you keep saying all the list, what they know. But in the text, it is said that appamada is the highest virtue in Buddhism. This is given in one of the suttas called Appamada Sutta in Samyutta Nikaya. Why is it? Now, Buddha gives us an example in this sutta. The Buddha says, appamada, that means diligence, punctuality for our spiritual life as well as our secular day-to-day life is the highest virtue, and all the other virtues stay inside of appamada. Just as the largest footprint in the jungle is the elephant foot, and all the other feet in the jungle can be fit inside the elephant's foot. So the elephant footprint is like appamada. Other virtues are all subordinate, subsidiary, secondary ones. That means it is true, because if we don't try to do something, we cannot do anything. We cannot do dana, we cannot practice meditation, we cannot do anything. Anything is not going to be possible if we don't have sort of punctuality, sort of diligence, sort of enthusiasm. That is why the Buddha said appamada is the highest quality virtue in Buddhism. That doesn't mean other qualities are not important. They are important only if you have appamada in the highest place. When someone does not have appamada, but they have other qualities, what is going to happen? Guess about it. What is going to happen? Now there is someone who doesn't have appamada, the highest one, the largest one, but they have other qualities. They do dana, they practice meditation. They are not regular people who are doing virtue. They might say, well, today I'm lazy, I can't do that. Because probably they are always what do you call? They are always wobbling. I would say they are always shaky in their practice. They are sort of probably stagnated in one practice. So appamada practice should be the first, and then on top of that, you're going to continue with other practices. You have to carry appamada at all times. Okay, so a little bit off the topic, but I wanted to tell you about pamada, appamada. Now here, pamattang comes from pamada. Now pamattang means, now say for instance, you are late, but your friend takes care of you. Give me an example. Now the Pali commentary says something little terrible. You know, they say you probably not sober, you are drunk. You are probably on the road at that time. This is an example. It might not work 100%, but it might work. You are drunk, you are on the road, so your friend is with you. She's gonna be with you, and he's gonna bring you home. Something like that, you know. So you are late, so your friend is with you. Let's take another example. Probably, don't misunderstand. Let's say you are you are studying something, but you are not an intelligent student, good student. Probably you are not doing well. Maybe you don't understand, but you have a very good friend who is very studious, who is doing very well. But don't expect that friend to be with you all the time, because she also has a journey to go, right? But he or she might be with you in a way to help you in a different. So regardless of those examples, here pamattang means you are late in your day-to-day life. Probably you are stuck. You met with the problem in your daily life, but your friend is with you. That's a nice thing, right? Let's say you have an emergency in your house. You don't know whom to talk, but your friend knows, and friend comes to your house and then stay there until things are going to be okay, normal, right? We don't have lots of such people in today's world, right? Only few people, those who we can trust in. So pamattam means you are late. Rakkati means protect. So when you are late, you are protected by that friend. Second way how we can recognize or understand. Pamattassa sapateyang rakkati. Now pamatta means that person protects you when you are in danger, when you are in difficulty. But now it says not even you, but also your properties, your belongings, your possessions are being protected by your friend. Is it a nice thing too? Let's say you have an emergency, then nobody's there to take care of your place, probably your other possessions, but your friend is coming up and then going to take care of those things, because, right? Sometimes the opposite happens, right? You don't have anybody, you are stuck, you are met an accident, and then everything will be stolen by other folks. Does that happen sometimes? That can happen, right? Because we don't know the people. But your friend, if he or she is there, is going to protect not only you, but also your possessions.
Bhante, must it be a friend or stranger also can?
Strangers can also help like that. But that will be then one time, right? If it is stranger in that part. But if you have a friend, this will continue. But strangers also. But then that stranger can be upakaraka mitta after that too, if you know that person. Because sometimes when you feel somebody is good to you, you're going to make a connection to that person, right? But strangers can also help.
I noticed sometimes they lost their phone and somebody keep it for them, protect it until the right owner turns up.
Yes.
I noticed that.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, but the opposite also happens sometimes. That will not be returned. Yeah. The opposite also happens at most times in some places, but this also happens if that person is a good friend. Or maybe a stranger. But what it says is that if you have a friend who can take care of your belongings, that would be very nice. That means you have an upakaraka mitra, helper. Third, yeah, the third characteristic to know helper is bhitassa saranam hoti. Bhita comes from buyer. How many of you know this term? Buyer. B-H-A-Y-A. Buyer. Buyer means?
Fear, is it?
Fear. Do we have fear? Is it a good emotion? Is fear a good emotion?
No.
Really? Okay, I would like to know why it is not. Emma? Why it is not a good emotion? How would you explain to us?
The emotion will make you like, it's not stable, and all sort of things come to frighten you off. And I don't think it's a good emotion or a good experience to have when you're in a state of fear. And you can't think properly, maybe can't think properly and doing more mistakes.
That makes sense. Okay. Anybody else wants to say why fear is not a good emotion? Yeah, Kim.
In another way, actually, fear can protect you. If, like, for instance, like the fire, you have been burned by fire before.
So that's another side. See? Yeah, that's something that I wanted to explain also. But yeah. Anybody else? Now it's like a mixed emotion, huh? But you have to think a lot. Okay. So lots of fears that come to us are irrational. Irrational. But some other fears are rational. Like the fear that, the fear that we will not attain Sotapanna before we die is an irrational fear. Why? Because it is a possibility that we can attain, right? But just being worried about it is a problem. But if we have a fear that in case we don't, then it's a good emotion, because we are trying our level best without being stressed out. But irrational fears are always giving us a hard time, big time. Like, let's say you have a challenge. Now you have to work, you have to balance out, you have to keep up with your family, people, friends, right? So it's a challenge. Every time when there is a challenge in our day-to-day life, it is going to be a bad situation for us. That means lots of fears come from those challenging moments. Let's say you're working under somebody, and if you make a mistake, you will be blamed, criticized right away, right? So that kind of stuff. Probably you with somebody who is always trying to look for perfectionism. You didn't do that properly. You haven't added enough soul to that. Maybe you have added lots of soul, right? So you had to. So those kinds of fears are really giving us a hard, bad time, probably a big stress. So the Buddha asks us in couple of suttas, there is a fear that we may carry in a healthy way. What is it? That is the fear of not being able to attain across the samsara. Samsara is the ocean. So that fear is there, but we should not take it in a very stressful way. Like, okay, tonight I'm gonna attain Sotapanna. I don't care anymore. So we don't take it that way. We should take time, right? Our practice will take time, but it's okay. So, but oftentimes fears to many people are very stressful. I think they are stressful for irrational stuff. As Lim said, let's say there's a fire, so we are very, panic. We don't know what to do. Probably, yeah. So that's going to be a very big problem. Probably going to be an attack, right? So here it means bhitassa. Bhitassa means someone who is already feared at something or someone. Okay, so say you are scared of something, you are afraid of somebody or something, right? Bitas, Saranangoti. You are going to give, what do you call? You are going to help
Protection.
out. Let's say you are afraid of something or something, but your friend is going to help you out to ease out your fear, ease out your scary nature, right? Is it like this? You are calling that I have a ghost in my house. Your friend comes and relieves you. Don't worry, there is no ghost in this house. Don't worry, just trust me. Right? So it's not like that. That friend is not giving you fear. He's always trying to help you out with your emotions, to ease out your anxiety, ease out your what you call stress, ease out your fear. We need such friends, right? Otherwise, friends that a lot of people have are always giving a stressful time, challenging time. Probably they don't know the impact that they are putting on other people, right? So let's say you are afraid, but if you have a upakaraka friend, help a friend, he or she is going to clear your fear. I would say is going to take care of you when you are feared. Let's say you are going through a surgery. That's a good example. Your friend comes in and say, don't worry, you're going to have this surgery, right? So we need that encouragement, that motivation, right? So, but lots of stuff that you see on internet, you checking what's my surgery? Oh, a lot of side effects going to have for me. It's going to be a hard time because you are checking internet information. You are always getting tired, afraid of stuff. So those are stuff that are done on different researches. But you need the real friendship. You need the real help, relieving help, this helping hand, so that you are not afraid, feared. Any examples you have in your life? Probably you might have helped somebody, but you helped somebody help you. You felt so happy about it because you were so struggling about it. Maybe a person, maybe a situation, but that help you had with that friend or from that person was very important to you at that time to pass through that time, right? I remember somebody told me he met with an accident in Canada. He was a Sri Lankan man. He went to Canada for a visit. So when he was crossing the road, a trailer came in. It went on his legs. So he heard the sound. It's a very terrible incident. Then he was suffering a lot. At that time, a person, I think a lady on the way came to him, and then held his hand till the ambulance showed up. She was saying to him, don't worry, you're gonna be okay. He's still saying that. Now he was okay after many surgeries. He's still saying that. Those beautiful words at that time gave me lots of comfort. Don't worry, you're gonna be okay. That hope, right? So this is why we have to understand if somebody is going to help us, especially when we were scared, when we were stressed out, that's going to be an enormous effect on our life. Because, lots of fears come to us from our childhood. Do you believe that?
Yeah.
Now there was an incident happened to a girl in Sri Lanka some times ago. She was taken to a psychotherapist. Now the problem is she is saying that her grandmother who passed away a long time ago is coming to her. Now she is in her body. This is what she is saying to him. And then now she was normal before she came to the clinic. But when the doctor asked you what's wrong, what's up with you, and she said, I'm that grandmother now. She trans into that grandmother nature now. Okay. hello, uncle, or something. She said, I'm not your uncle, I'm the doctor. This is my clinic. You came to my clinic, right? And then, he was not her uncle. Then he was trying to explain what may have happened with his research. He's saying that everything that she is posing, she's showing about her grandmother, is everything that she heard from her mother. She has not seen her grandmother. Okay, she has not seen her grandmother, but she shows some of the reactions that her grandmother had, not because she saw her, but because she heard from mother saying that your grandmother was like this and that. And then finally, they found out those people who have a very violent childhood, those of them who were tortured by their parents, tortured by other folks, who were bullied by other people in their school, they have a weak personality. So when they grow up, although they do good things, but their mentality, their power of their mind is so weak. So then they think other people can take them over. Even the dead people can take them over. There is no trance from the dead people. Very interesting. So that's why the people who have a very violent childhood, they are more susceptible to these, what do you call things, who they think that the other people come to their bodies. It won't happen, research-wise, but in Buddhism-wise also, Anyways, Bhitasa Saranam Hoti means when you are afraid, your friend is there to help you out, right? If she knows that you are afraid, you are scared, he or she is always trying to get in touch with you and then trying to help you out. But, so he or she is not going to leave you till you are okay. Any examples in your life? I would like to know. Because whatever the things we discuss here are not going to apply to you, then it's going to be a knowledge. Hard skill. I like the soft skill. Wisdom is more important than the knowledge. Because knowledge is something you can learn from internet, but here we are engaging each other. So then you understand, okay, this is something that I can apply to myself in my life. So have you ever noticed somebody help you when you were really scared? You never expected that to happen, but it happened. But someone in your own circle, probably a stranger, as Hema said, help out. That was such a very, relieving moment, stress-free moment. Any examples? You are telling me that you've never been afraid of anything. You are such a very bold person, very bold, dare person. Never. He says, but you're going to tell me. Yeah. Anything to add to that point? If I phrase that, yeah, Sadis.
Well, for me, it's a different scenario. I do help people plentiful, but
okay.
The biggest setback is instead of they appreciate and they're happy with it, but in the end, when they're comfortable, they talk back and they just disappear, no? But for me, it's okay, no problem, because for me, it's a golden opportunities to do my noble good deeds and all that. But most of it is disappointing. But sometimes I recall, but yeah, I said, no, it's okay. If they don't want it, there will be another person who comes to help and who needs I help as much as I can.
Yeah, that's interesting. Huh? What I can say about that comment, that what you call your feedback, is it's a very good question. I would say, to find out more answers. To me, although we are supposed to help out with everybody, we are supposed to be altruistic, I would say help everybody. But if you think that you want to do that extra help, right? If you want to do that extra help, something that you are investing a little bit, that you are committing a lot, I think it's better to think about who I'm going to help out at that point. Otherwise,
But the problem is in nature, I will help, even though after they play me out, I still help again. Then the third time, I said enough is enough. That's the time I back off.
That can happen. I mean, I'm trying to think that now in your own circle, you've been helpful to many people, but those people ended up in a different way than you expected, right? This is what has happened to you. But if we take it with someone in general, my idea here suggestion is, although we are supposed to help out everybody in different ways, but the frustration comes in at a time when we are committed too much to somebody who is not a very good person, right? So when we are very committed to someone who is not very good, who is very bad, evil, then we are very disappointed at a certain time. That's why so you need to sacrifice, commit, going to that extra help to someone who you think that definitely I'm not going to be frustrated about my time and commitment. I think it's a very fundamental way of keeping up with people. But if you're going to...
To me, I know it from the beginning. This has happened because it happened many times. So it makes no difference.
Now
see, like for me, I'm always attracted to this type of thing. They just simply approach me. They tell me their problem. Okay, I support them. I help them. They come and ask me, my leg is a problem. I help them.
Yeah, that's a sad thing to know. But now here, what is very clearly seen is that the difficulty in finding a Kalyana Mitra, right? A Suhada Mitra. See, it's very difficult to find. This is what you are saying in other ways, right? But I'm not thinking that all the others have the same problem. They may have good friends, definitely Kalyana Mitras too, in their own circles. So it's very difficult to find for some people.
But for me, I understand that, but it's okay because I'm gifted with the capability of helping. So good, you come, I help. You give me a noble opportunities to do something good. That's all matters, no? If you go, it's okay. There will be another one coming around. Every time comes and go.
Can we know, I mean, if you're not going to be very specific to the people, can we know what kind of help is this? Is it about money or your time, commitment?
Money, time, everything. Advice, guidance, everything. I'll give in everything. Because even when I help others, like say, when I'm in the Philippines, I talk to some guys who are having problem with that. I talk. In the end, he helped me. He say, "Oh, even my own father never talked to me about all this matter. So now I understand why I'm suffering from it and all that. Because I do a lot of Dhamma talk with them. So in a way, but in my own way, my own language, they're a bit harsh, but they understand. It depends on which people I'm talking to. Some people we can talk in a very polite way, humble way, but some people you have to use a little bit of heart to let them get to the point.
Convincing method. I hope that we're going to be good Kalyana Mitras to you, Suhada Mitras to you, right? So although we are not getting whatever you have, but you come to the right place, to be supported by, at least to share and then to understand what's going on in your way of looking at the friendship. I would say the help that you are giving to other folks. But don't worry, probably you may find a good person. You may be helping somebody in the future, a very good person, because everything is anicca, changing. So never think that there are all bad people.
No, it's not that. It's just that I'm blessed in a way. I don't need help. But when I want a small help, I cannot get. That's the only disappointment sometimes. But I think it's okay because end of the day, I'm doing a lot for others. And I feel, very proud in a way that I can do such a thing for them, no? But the disappointment is okay because I already experienced too many until no more disappointment. It's okay. You come, good. You don't come, or you forget me also, it doesn't matter. Just take it easy only.
Another way is a bit deeper, in Buddhism, helping someone without expecting anything. That is what you have come to in your life at this point. I think a lot of people help with some strings attached, right, to anything. The Buddha said in one sutta, if you give anything to someone with strings attached, you know what's going to happen to you? You will get that in your next life or in this life, but you won't have desire to enjoy that. Let's say you give food a lot, but you expect a lot of things by giving food, and then in next life you get the food, but you are not liking the food to eat. You're getting a house, but you don't feel sleeping in there. You have a couple cars, but you are always using the old car because your mind doesn't go to the pleasing stuff. The Buddha said, give things without strings attached. That's the perfect way. You are not getting offended. In Hinduism, they say one yoga, Nishkama Karma Yoga. In Hinduism, they say Nishkam means do anything without expecting in return. But as worldlings, unenlightened people, our mind always goes to double of what we are giving to other people. You put to monk, oh, may I be reborn in a heaven. Even the monks are saying, you know what, when you give something, you're going to be doubling stuff in your future, right? That is anti-Dhamma. In Buddhism, the Buddha says, that is bhavatanha, craving to be. But then where do we find all these teachings? You give something, you're going to be reborn in the heaven. Those are coming from the Khuddaka Nikaya, later teachings. I mean, you don't have an argument with any monk because that's their custom. Don't try to argue with anybody. I'm telling you something to be thoughtful, philosophical. In early Buddhism, Buddha never says that you give something, you're going to be reborn in the heaven. It is always, now in the Khuddaka Nikaya, Vimanavattu Petavatu said, there was a monk comes to a house for Pindapata, and the maid in the house found out anything, nothing, and then she found out a roti, but it is expired, and she brings that roti and put in the bowl of the monk. Just because she was able to do that, she passed away. She was reborn in the heaven. Actually, these teachings were added by senior monks. You know, they were added. But the veracity, authenticity, rationality, practicality, and looking at all these, and especially when you compare with the early teachings, Buddha always says, even in Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, if you have any craving to be born again, that is a craving. Now you have craving here, we call it kama tanha, craving for sensual desires. So we are struggling with that. And then craving to be is another craving. And craving not to be, like some religious people think, also a craving. So then if it is the thing, somebody is, why there are lots of things that always looking at the future, always looking at the next life. It is because the senior monks knew in the future, there are not many people in the future who can understand little deeper teachings of the Buddha. They want something quick, shortcuts, right? Some shortcuts. So they want to do something. Okay, now I'm okay now, right? I have done so many things already. Anyways, there is an impact. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's an impact, but it's not what the Buddha actually said. So every time when you want to give anything, even a single penny, money, food, anything, give it without string attached to that. That is going to purify your thoughts. Okay, so we have one more thing. So with that, we're going to be going to the Q&A after that. The last characteristic to identify, recognize, understand, know the helper is Uppannesu Kichchakaraniyesu Taddigunang Bhoga. Taddigunam means double. Let's say there arises different times that you need help. Now, say for instance, the English translation. In various tasks, providing double what is required. Let's say, one more time here. Uppannesu Kichchakaraniyesu. Kichchakaraniya means when certain tasks arisen in your life, let's say you need some money, you need some help, right? You don't know what to say, who to talk, but this friend gets to know about it. Probably you can talk. Let's say when you are very comfortable with that person, you're gonna say, and then that person not just helps you, helps in double, not like just a normal one, right? Money, any other thing, he or she is so supportive. You never expect that to happen. So supportive. You never expected your friend would act like that, right? But normally what happens that you treat double when you are treated first, right? This is a normal norm, right? Let's say you go for a meal in other person's house, then, okay, I'm going to do that double, right? But this person, without any initiation, without any help done beforehand, always supporting, like double, triple, right? I mean, you might say money is involved, but at the same time, his nature of thinking is, I have to support very well to the best of what I could, right? So that is how the helper is thoughtful about you. So would you like to have a supportive friend, a helper, upakaraka mitta? Okay.
Obviously, everybody likes, but
everybody likes. No, I'm asking that at the end. There's no harm.
The problem is, you got to dream long before you can get one or two close like that.
Okay, let me ask you something. The Buddha said in one sutta that your spouse, if you are married, your spouse is your best friend. Bharyava parama saka. That means now you have a very good friend at home. Don't expect from outside. I mean, I don't know how it works to everybody. Yeah, maybe people who are single, so they should have a life too. So then you see that at home. Let's say your wife takes care of you, your emotional pressure and your whatever. Let's say other things too. Maybe your family members, your relatives, maybe your friends, maybe other people. So if you have someone in your own family circle, you are luckier than other people too. Okay, so these are the four ways we can understand. The number one is that when you are late, when you are vulnerable, that person is going to support you, take care of you. Number two, when you are late, that person is going to take care of your belongings. Number three, when you are scared, when you are feared, that person is going to relieve your fear, stress. Number four, you are always supported at your task double, triple times by your friend, right? Okay, any questions about all this, especially this helper? As Adri said, yeah, we all wish to have this kind of a friend. And somebody might say it's a karmic, it's my own karma. I have lots of good friends like that. Some people are blessed naturally in their life to have these friends. Some people are not. It depends. Probably the environment, probably their family circles, probably their karma. It depends.
But Bhante, I'd like to comment that tonight's Dharma talk is really good because it's not so much of the friend that we have, but it's a reminder. This Dharma is, to me, Sutta is really reminding us to be one like this as a friend to others as well.
Yeah,
not expecting that side. So to me, it's really a reminder of what a true friend is. So tonight, Dharma talk, I look forward, to really listen. And Bhante, has been a very good, insightful talk. Thank you very much. Sadhu. Sadhu. It's a reminder, homework. It's a homework.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, now we start from what we have, right? Because now it doesn't initially say that we have to be this friend. It is said that if you have this kind of a friend, keep your company. But at the end, on the other side of the thing is that we need to be this kind of a friend to somebody, because otherwise we are always looking for our rights without doing our responsibilities. Yes. Now, when we finish all the 4 friends, then we understand we have to be a mixed person out of these 4. But, you know, while you are like Sadhiri said, he is a very good person, like the way how he explained, he is helping, he is doing it, but see what his feelings are. He doesn't feel that he deserved what is happening in return, right? So that means that aspect is what we first dealt here. And then our way is to help out and to be the best of what we see here.
In short, to say, try to be a giver, not a taker.
Yeah, yeah. Taker is bad because he's a bad friend, right? We all discussed. Anya Dattuhara, remember? He's a bad friend.
Keep giving. It's okay. No disappointment is no worries. Just keep going. Because as long you think it's good and people need it, give it to them. At the end of the day, maybe if they keep taking, their luck also will be coming to us in a way, you know.
Yeah. Good things will come to us, come to you, as
because
we
they
did.
might be very lucky, but because of their nature of taking, in the end, their luck also come to us. We get more and more because of them. So one way,
not falling into a craving. You know,
yes,
that's the bottom line here.
No,
but the karma follows us. That's definitely happening. Okay, any other questions before we transfer good karmas? So today we discuss about Upakaraka friend, the first Suhadamitta, good-hearted friend. Next week, we're going to be looking at Samana Sukha Dukkha Mitta. Someone who is with us in our suffering and in our happiness. Any questions, Kim, Bella?
But what if those who have, stressful, sometimes they've gone through tough time, is it good to leave them alone to have the space than coming in to, sometimes they need space, I find, than adding more concern area for them. I don't know. Sometimes I see the situation, they just need the space.
Yeah, very true. Because everybody needs some private space as they struggle. But we have to make sure that that person is not overly, stressed out and going to take their life. Sometimes they can't take the pressure. So we are with them, we check in, are you okay? But I understand, you understand that. Still, he or she is not able to have a conversation. So we're gonna leave that space for the friend. But do not leave that person totally. Have the connection, but give some space. Be there when you really think you should be there. You know.
Yeah.
That's why in Buddhism it says sunyagara. Aranyagatowa, rukkhamulagatowa, sunyagara gatowa, iti patisanchikkati. Buddha says there should be some time in our day for our personal reflection. Sunyagara, empty house. That means when you are in your room, have a personal time about you. Get to know you. I've always said, get to know you. Say, it's you. No, there are 2 people. Get to know you. Get to know you from your mind. Who are you? What you really need? What's your problem? If we do this personal reflection, I think a lot of problems can be solved, especially from us to others and other problems, other people's problems, our friends' problems, right?
Yes.
So the personal space is very important, but we should not give the feeling that we are not caring those people. We should let them know that I'm not talking to you now because I know you need the freedom. I know you need the privacy, for the space to, what do you call, self What's the proper wording for that?
Reflect.
Resilience, so bounce back, to bounce back, right? So, but I'm always here. So it's a call away. If you have something, call me. So you are always making sure that you are there, but you are not trying to put your fingers till they are self-healing. Because sometimes the wounds have to be healed from oneself in the first place. You cannot heal. There are, it's interesting. We don't like the Japanese, the most harm they had from the Second World War, but they are the people who healed faster than all the nations in the world. But other folks are still suffering from the injuries happen, because in most of the cultures they cannot heal themselves very fast, right? If you take it to personal life, it's very difficult to heal personally, because they think I was wounded, I was I was attacked, right? I was afflicted, I was abused by these people. The pain keeps going and going. But we have to manage looking at it. Okay, so let's then do our transference of merits today. Let's look at our good karmas today, looking at the discussion today about the first good-hearted friend, Suhada Mitta, because we finished discussing about Papa Mittas, 4 Papa Mittas. We started discussing the first Suhada Mitta today, Upakaraka Mitta. Upakaraka means the helper, the supportive friend. May all the good karmas which we've been accumulating in today's discussion be transferred to all the departed relatives who passed away in the name of all of us. Maybe your mother, your father, your relatives, anybody in your sansaric journey. May all they be able to receive all this good karma. May we be able to transfer them, all the good karmas. If they were reborn in a place of suffering, may they be able to be reborn in a place where they feel comfort, ease, and then happiness. If they are already in a place where they can learn Dhamma, practice, may they be able to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's recite the stanza. Idammi nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idammi nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idammi nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Devanaga Mahidika are the second group. May all the good karmas which have been accumulating in all these ways be shared by all the Devas, Nagas, and Mahidikas. Today, our moderator, Aliana, was sick to our understanding. Let's wish her speedy recovery. At the same time, may all our friends, relatives, parents, your family members, everybody, you know that you don't know, may they be able to be protected by the Devanaga Mahidika, and may they be blessed and protected by them for good health, quality of life, prosperity, safety. May Devanaga Mahidika also be well and happy, and finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Let's recite the 2 types of stanzas. Ittavatacha ami sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sampasang patisita. Ittavatacha amehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sampasang patisiddhya. Ittavatacha amehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha ca bummattha devanaga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhanthu lokasasanam. Akasattha ca bummattha devanaga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhanthu desanam. Akasattha ca bummattha devanaga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva Chirang Rakhang Tumang Paranti, Chirang Rakhang Tutwang Sadati. Okay, let's make our wish. We have a wish about Kalyana Mittas. This, you know how important is it to have good friends in our life. So that's a very good impact. As the Buddha said to Bhante Ananda, our life is complete with the Kalyana Mittas. So to have Kalyana Mittas till we attain Nibbana, we're going to recite this stanza and to make the wish. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamu satang samagamu hotu yava nibbana pantiya. Finally, may all the good karmas which you've been accumulating in all these days today be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silisa nichang bandha prachayinu chattaru dhamma bandhanti ayuvanu sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti me bacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati saminchaku. By the noble power of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, may all your fears go away. May all your sufferings go away. May all your sicknesses go away. May all you be safe, comfortable, and happy, prosperous all the time. Sadhu, sadhu. So I'm going to be seeing you next Friday. It's going to be November 18th. Have a good night. Take care. Hello, Vinita. How are you? Are you still at work?
Yeah, I just came home.
Oh, you just came home.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry,
happy to see
couldn't join earlier. Just came in for the blessing.
Great. Happy to see you. Okay. Yeah.